Yo, it's here for High Life Radio, and I would hear your boy Patrik Barfi. And then so yeah, the bro BM discussing program and yeah, they bro no. And then what topics from Kokrama housing. So say you say every third week of the month biano. The bra Alex Ebishia na wa mama in church about houses. You say idea here pa anti akwan be fa so a be to wo mu dada. This process in ade ba kwa me pe wo the brother Alex who say and yes say or agent was happening in the industry when even it comes to the finance side near your broad knowledge when it comes to signing money. But before see your best start, you know, your sister want to do my inspiration talk na fair flow until sister manen komai.
Madam was say and then you it's been a while. And then Yabeka be kakrebia fa characteristics of transformation. You can say transformation then a by a trim. Transformation is a shift in appearance or stature. Say free to be now womb dada airco to be from. No, we will talk about few characteristics of transformation. You can say transformation. The first thing I was say by a trim, they say it's irreversible. Akwai sɛ wonyini personally ɛnyɛ sɛ yɛwoyɛ no ɛnyɛ sɛ na ne nyina yɛtie yɛnyini kakra wobɛwia wobɛnante wobɛkɔ school no so it was stages ne nyinaa you can't go back. It's irreversible. That is what transformation is about, and it's very challenging. Free one stage ɛkɔ next stage ɛnyɛ easy. It's not easy. Even academically adwuma mu yapɔmuden mu bibia mu enyini de nsusuaso bebree ne challenges bebree by akwan mu. But the same transformation gives us an opportunity for growth. Wonyini na wo face challenges anyway nyina no, we tend to learn things about life processes, family, building a family, building our finances and everything. It helps us and gives us the opportunity to grow. And then the last one is it's disruptive. Eba ya kwema. Sometimes so but enam tibia womna untimi it creates a disruption to you, like and also it's vision driven. So being see when this wa person will achieve, let's say finances, and buying a house or something. If you don't have that in mind or you don't have that vision in mind, went to me and or expenses bini and your marketing you can't achieve that. And it's all the process of transformation. Transformation is part of our lives, and we need to respect the process of transformation. Ube free to be from ako to be enye baby na wo no we have the positive and the negative side of everything. Into be and kakra we will get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you for kai emrebi atwam na into your bills. Say into your bills. Transformation beba. Tino I say any increase out their mind in any transformation. All right, guys. Content a friend is saying, Sammy, the rule here is opesoba also do camera on. So far as our had here, we have to see your camera now. So especially opeso kasa. I mean, you can hang here and listen to us, but opeso kasa I will see you. Right. Okay. Yo, it's any you be any call so. Mama will stay with us and I say Obeko. Yo, okay. And yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Yo. And then yeah, I'm be brave. High Life Radio and out here, no boy Patrik Barfi, and there Sikasem and the bro. No, in them say every Monday be 7 to 9 p.m. Your high Sikasem Hojuma. It's Sikasem Nani the bro, in your Alex, and a topic a friend say 10 things you have to do when ready to buy a house. You can't near maybe be or your life more. 10 things I will see it me, yeah. You say sorry, I need a to house, no. Into your brother be boy na ya fair free. Into bro, the woman say when me tea has several times by the introduction kakra na fi yen free hanko. Into me ja flow na fi yeah the questions no be our questions be aso no. Like I said, opeso okasa ubemwa no akasa. Omo mo echi so pese your friend is saying ubetimi do questions to chat box no. And also you betimi answer ma. Yo, any encore. But before then, Muhammad, Sami, tell Mama joining or going to see screen. So, thanks for joining in. The other ones almost so a friend saying, "Be our joining, be thanks for joining, bro." Yanko.
Medasi, Miniana, ewe, and then you mray, that's any what tier for any high life radio phone, Madaroma say, Yeniana, and I say radio station, he said, Mamma, me tea, there's a station, no, a neat future, and I say, Enkosu. Now, and then you share ye did uncle Moy say, Mammy tune in, and I say later, Mam, what NTR, not just say you may ding and 1 month or so. Enti, dear can say, yeah, the high life radio for us for this opportunity. And then it's useful for you now, say almost so. And you may omit me ako baby, but almost share or my dad, say or mobile, no more baby. Na beside that, one a tier for any radio nasi, sir. Once I'm who find say, and you may so memora na yemra near me to your home community. They make I say, Yame enshira a tier for any radio station, no, the management for the opportunity given to me. Me pacho, me who say one of the audience, no, a man, Nana.
But won't hear Kasa, you see, won't hear Kasana now, won't Kasana na.
Mete.
Oh, okay, yo. Yes, you too, Kasa.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure, sir. All right. Until yada nyamiasi for the opportunity. Until study nana we can be a real estate agent. Me juma both Maryland and Virginia. My license in both na many Samson properties and juma in the past 7 years in my career. I've been with Williams and now I'm with Samsons.
Volume no form. Make Kasa out your home.
Mete ba se volume no form ntina me. Na person connecting Bluetooth to me. Me pa so mo kasa me connect Bluetooth na man.
Ote.
Ote. Me che kasa. Ne.
Say the ote pa and I say.
Me pa so mete.
Ani ma ono broadcast na here so betin.
Me pa so me so ote me de no.
Me pa so mete kasa.
Okay, yo.
Okay. Iti yada yetie for us said na make no. Currently there many Samsons and properties and a adwuma nti me adwuma both Maryland and Virginia at the moment. Nti Madam Asi for the audience and the opportunity nti mano esi.
Yo, in your idasi bebre. You need to say when it comes to home buying they be ameka say ade ba kwa ina na your friend is saying na Abraham DJ real estate cause land you never to and what my na and the idea in say when it comes to land it be emeka ho bi the properties near the land na ho na yesi dan near the so and uhwemu so American ha hwe mo di eye usike mu ana so mo eye we na you calculate your net worth the bia no tim say home eka ho efie eka ho boy ma your friend is saying my net worth ekosro nche bia kra hwe almost share from the pandemic, which is 2021 or ABCC, which is a be worth a cost, not because of because of the brain, no matter to feel than sana, sini physical cost. It is always good, say, if you have the chance, that is our main year. You see a try, see betting up na yet me ama a year koso. Okay, obviously, yes, we can hear you, you know. Muhammad Ayan was a baby. Maybe I away, you know, maybe I'll call out back up with him. Bro, okay, any started your few questions are but like I said, if you want to interrupt what question I'll be to me and I'm here to the end. I will to the end that your bonus ones be a bit so at the account my bonus questions a bit me the account amount amana ubenya a yika crowd home. You know, stay with us na yenye benkosi. It's the first question about a baby say in them say utopia. If as a preparation no cry utopia in name ade ba ko akruma obisi the number nenam. Yemfa bibi mfa credit score ho kakra na yenhwa ade. When it comes to credit score sanity. And I say so person utopia kra de na wo so hwe first.
That's me and I said yeah, and I said Tima what the two program they say things to do before buying. No more so we and sana why then what and I nyemo say unim and sana why they what if ye. And it's very important. Now before I'm kind of mess tackle score no one semono. Ade ba ko a me pesa me kan say ade bia wo ye bia na o se wo hu botai ntia wo de akoye de opesa wo de ye no if say wo koye bibi na wa nya ntia ase anase wa nya botai bi na yes bia na ye we ntina me kwa akoye a se wo yes wo tu sa na mo no wo nya experience a little bit of resistance pe wo be san wachi so what the mission na say nti the edikan require san na meta ke na first question na me pesa me establish ni say se wo pesa wo ye bibia titiri say ye ka efito ho asema o say
Pacho me katikra. Mohammed, it's so fat to mute na edrus na wakasa na wa ye flow. Na wo de so pija ansa kra na say wo utimi hit button na me so pesa obisa question na after answer we have question na me questions we say bisa no. We so be different questions. And na obi a obe join ni bia no wo ye ya na de to mute time so san wakasa o ma me ya wa me ma wakasa. Yo broko so.
Nti said ye can before I met tackle o first question obisa bibia wo ye bia no say wo hu botai ntia apesa wo de ye o say wo define wo purpose wo aim a day nti na mpesa me tofie a day nti na mpesa me toka a day nti na mpesa me ye ade we am yi nti say wo define the reasons and the rationale behind what we are doing here eno no say wo tu anamona na say wo kwa wadwe mu fine na wo de eko. And it's very important, say can if it was things to know and also to do before now between Amona, you have to define your purpose, your aim, short term, long term, and medium term goal. And sana the year became what I say the apple pair no idea what to and among into we need foundation and person made it to as here na etiefoɔ nyinaa no ehu sɛ sɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ bibia na ɔsɛ woyɛ den wotena se na wohwɛ botan nti a saa deɛ na apɛ sɛ woyɛ no wokɔ sɛ woyɛ anaa ho mfasoɔ a ɛbɛba ɛde ama wo nti meda ase nana ɛyɛ wo first question bisa ayɛ a sɛ ansa na wobɛyɛ sɛ wobɛtɔ fie anaa sɛ wobɛtu anamo a adeɛ a ɛho hia a ɛdi kan na wobisa sɛ credit scores na credit score ye nyina ye no see credit score ni nyina ne se ne tietia ni nyina ye eye numbers a ekromi ha no mo no woto ade se eye car bibia woto bia credit card wo mai den a create database a wo mo make sure se woto na wotu nyanom den wo mo de den report nti the more wodi ne kura nyoma miensa se wotu ano on time wunye late na account no so eche say credit card so am dey amawa we use ni na che say numbers na dey ekosoro it is just numbers wo ma create akwese Wombo de omudibu obiati to measure how faithful and how responsible one is in terms of your credit scores, right? And so when they talk about credit score, how do I establish a credit score? And there's going to be somebody else or will be a credit. It is a quickly. So bit honest as of only credit here you can once a month. There are two ways. One, a bank one is correct, and I say background which major tax ID number. Oko any bank biya a financial institution either in person or online. Oko I will say mepe unsecured credit. Oko honoma on baby say na pay. They were home best to be say $100, $200. What the ma warm na oma credit card no. Enti advice and they be am man say who could be who shall say for us na ye ma sa secure credit na. Ye the ma me pa chow men costo na emfa nko enkoto ade de di kan.
Hey, I didn't hear. Let's see, am I card near the was it me kuchi ana
Me pa chow enka o dey right. Nti put them am pie. Nti ye the ma wa sa na wa secure. Fakoto fie na make sure say at least 30 days aba. And I say upa after be one will be some say na credit card amudi amami the be number reporting. Into omuka date ni chira wa twen never time on some reporting empa ho. And sana wakwa akwa kutwi sa credit card no. Na make sure say sa credit card near the amount so no won't spend more than 30%. That is on the credit. It is a wow call here now $500 and a quarter a honey yedamawa make sure say won't she more than 30%. My room of thumb is at least where you saw 20%. Said the bear answer credit. The reason idea some simon could say what was your credit card? Now your reported data. It doesn't look good on you. It is sort of the initial impact and also a impact of credit scores no is reporting with debt into honor senka first time I report nanka the 100 points na ekwa because as 500 no twimu 200 ninti no ekwa na no instead of 100 points no e be report 70.
You're ready now or
down into the maximum benefit also wunya for opening that account no on sanka into no always the rule of thumb say so we could be a secure credit and I am yeni your credit crown so one second new credit card me pacho and fan to fatu no more report answer. I know sometimes people get open account maybe our costo and I call and say oh say no be account you may see here and ka auto adia unyoma nyina na be ma 40% off and no san may encourage say uchi next office about 30% Udu fiala for customer service na for music iden. Fama womu. Said a beya ebema credit in ejina on now. Until that is that on establishing a credit. And one of the other ways, easiest way, say wouldn't or credit. And as I say, if you won't need will be now credit alcohol for more. One of the easiest way to come back quickly, no, is authorized user. Authorized user say wouldn't ebusu be adam for or credit card. Nimfie akoninim normally ne I always recommend say card they 1 year or longer. Now or the what to so authorized user. Enya account owner. On your social security, with full name, with date of birth, but ma womo entry or credit scores. And no say what also necessary a credit card no it will good history right away or more party it may ma bump quickly. But also the caution is so be the who took the card so as authorized user on the credit now. Make sure says our credit card no one any late. Because a late payment they are not reporting any panic credit history, rather than they are reporting the credit, that particular credit card. It is why late also an answers were overuse. Unfortunately, Papa no de beno, kakra won a baba paper no. That is just also on the authorized user. And making sure say any panels betting who wants to say, sa card no do to so no, onko no nko twitwi no rough. Because we could twitwi no rough and more person or boa no, he might end up taking you to the drain rather than helping you. And that is just that on the credit. And so the question is, say ebe fito ma credit score being enemy here qualify me to buy a home. The standard credit score one needs that qualifies them no, is 620 or better. 620 or better can qualify you for any loan, whether VE, so be a military, Navy, Air Force, any military now, whether active or retired, 620 or higher. I beg getting it done. The only exception is with FHA loan, which is the government loan. Government loan say 580 a day or loan. But the caveat is that most lenders they will take 10% down if you don't have 620 or better for FHA. Some lenders also will be willing, secondary market will give you the 580. But the caveat is that say it's an average interest rate. I will be over 620 or better and be 6.5. Because of wo 6 or 580 and I say will lower no one more the bema. But to me a raise interest rate by a half a percentage. And that is that on the credit scores that you need to qualify you. But between the FHA and then the conventional yes, FHA 620 will get you decent interest rate. But I will never advise anybody say prepare 620 for conventional. And yet as a papa. Conventional loan where we interest it become very competitive is 680 and above. And no crown. I don't remember even selling anybody with 680 on conventional. I always want to push, say, or credit score encore 700 or better. And that is just that on the credit scores you need to qualify you for the home.
Minia, that's be brave. Your topic can be 10 things to do before you buy a home. A question, next question is besides and just a credit score and saying that the BISA or number being a DH. Now, who could feed the draw crowd and say, now, no be our question be up so between the chat box, so Casaswa, obit me, and that's all contribution or question be a bit me. This idea, yeah, twasso. Now, bro, say it me who say be a credit score, maybe a geneni, right? At least maybe in that 620, a crack said, can I say higher no, better. And no one and answer apart from that, no, the Juma send a tier, any quite before, say, near credit score, and you might be breaking home. If you work on, make us number 2, work history, and you see Bibia and here pana.
Yes, and only very important. So I just want to add one thing to the credit scores. Credit scores, I always get this feedback. Oh, Alex, my credit scores was 750. But when the lender pulled the credit scores, I said, oh, me was 620. One of the things that we want a TFO to hear, and they say, the standard for mortgage credit score is different from the one you see in your bank account and the FICOs and the Equifax. There are different platforms one can check their credit scores. But you have to know that mortgage standard is different. I mean, one day, the credit score FICO was 780. You change the mortgage pool, now it was 711. Why? The discrepancy. Mortgage pool no factor in a lot of negativities. And I just want a TF4 to know, say, the fact that we share account more either credit wise, Discover card or MasterCard or Omnibreo, 800 doesn't necessarily say apply for mortgage. the same 800 you are going to get. 99.9% of the time, your mortgage pool is going to be a little bit lower than your public FICO. And internet a very important say ube ready so kutofia, you make sure say you clean all negativities on your credit profile. Talking about credit, we want to talk about cleaning and corrections of names. That is one of the errors I've over the years I realized especially we the sons and the daughters of immigrants. Obi on ma or by initial, they were known by this name and was Sano. And he said, who did this name not by true documentation or who your or anything? You've changed your maiden name to your husband's name or vice versa, anything. Please, you need to call the credit bureau or all your credit card companies and tell them, say, look, going forward, this is me. Make sure, say, you report strictly under this new name. Then you even want to go further by reaching out to the 3 credit bureaus and send them the change of name to them. Say, this is my new name. So please delete all the other names that is showing on my credit report. Because sometimes now, when they report it like that now, some end up going to those kind of ghost names now you've been known in the past. And before I realize, your credit score is not moving up as one want it to be. And Miss Remo, at the back one, they took a tier 4 news of Miss Remo. CSI Dean announces says you apply loan everywhere. Miss Ray, you're consistent with even the way we write it. Because sometimes, like my name, for instance, you think I have double last name. I have Alex Adumakwe Champon. I can decide to write it Adumakwe Champon Alex or a Champon Adumakwe Champon. But if I write it like that, in the system is reading different names. And if my name, the correct on my documentation said Alex Adumakwe Champon, I have to make sure say anywhere, any credit that I apply or anywhere now, I write it systematically and orderly. Or even though you see some people say, oh, we made the name the encounter. No, it means something. Make sure so wherever you write it, you spell out your name clearly. It's one of the errors, Anana. I also see say, and also so no, a take it in credit history down. It's very, very important. People have to pay attention. And also, on the same credits now, who make sure say, so we'll prepare ourselves so they're making you have to make sure those credit up either through a bank, credit karma are free. Sign it up. Now from time to time, log on into your account and see say has there been any collection? And I be on my report here winning. Because me who will be one time a client. Or by also my credit score used to be in the 800s. And I'm saying, also, but recently, it went down to this. And I said, do you have any collections? Also, I'm not sure. I said, no, you might have a collection. Lo and behold, when you pull her credit scores now, there was a collection. Guess what? When we called the collection and she paid the debt, remove it, it bumped it up by 100 points instantly.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, yes. Collection can destroy your credit scores. Same thing with late payment. Late payment can take 50 point, 100 point. The reason why I'm laying emphasis on the home purchase is cash buyer. No matter your income, your credit scores is going to be very, 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 very important to this country, not just in the home buying, but wherever or whatever you do. Car insurance, our credit score, even Ejuma Krana, they still check your credit scores. And that is why I'm spending much time talking about this credit thing, because a lot of us, our attitude towards credit is like, me the cash better money. And we know this country, that's the difference from where you and we came from. If you know how to do your credit and maintain it, you live like a rich person in this country. And please, let us not play with our credit scores. So who a good creditor will be a every day you live a quality life, and people think say, oh, who is capable? But it's all at the mercy of your credit. Even look at all the businesses we see in America here. They borrow and they run business and they gain capital. The same thing can be said of us as individual. Into your credit in there and you are not misramo, and yet if you don't, but the benefit is huge. And coming back to work history is important. So the law say at least one must have 2 years working history. So why a Juma America have 2 years. It doesn't have to be one job. We are no they want to see say Okaboma who 2 years. But there's exemption, which is Obia Wako College. And I say Obia Wako any trade school biana. College count as work. Nti sebio ye may your office if we are wamuko school so o sis wanye part-time grada no on the school nko no koye owie college say omo graduate samen owie ene na china nyame bo onye adwuma with the offer letter no so far as oko school otumi a building a creditor on your offer letter na the next day he or she qualifies to buy a home because they've earned credit through the college and as school na omoko, you know. The only thing they say ye more loan they have to wait and get 30 days pay stub. Na lender ne person make sure say no edwuma na mpasa wo koye enye se wakoje letter bia na wo de be qualify na waje edwuma no. Nti that's exemption. And now also said yenuma bebre we are all foreigners or we came from diaspora. So when you come here and you are able to establish your credit score quickly, and you want to buy a home now in 2 years, if you are able to prove to them, say, oh, whilst I was in overseas, no, and also so no, they are able to give you credit for it, and that also exempt you from that 2 years working history in the land of United States. That is on the work history. But Adeba Akunso and Bessa Meka on the work history, no, is the fact say would shift major career. And also you have to be very, very careful. Let's say ABA me IT. Now I've decided that my real school may go into healthcare. So what shift major careers are now. And no, so what say what shift here rather when up sort most lenders they want to see say this new job no at least you'll be on it for 6 months and sana they will allow you to use your new income. And that is one of the things that also no one people have to be very careful if you are going to buy a home immediately. You don't transition from one major career to the other. If it's a continuation, that's fine. Where IT, we are more Boost Allen, the same field, and a capital one, a better salary. That is no problem. We are retail manager, and in store Z, and another store, Emma, the same opportunity. That's fine. We are healthcare worker. You are just leaving one facility to different facility. The same healthcare working, whether you are going to be administrator or anything, so far as it's in the same healthcare now, it's accepted. And so that is one of the things I just want to caution when it comes to the 2 years rule and switching of careers.
Okay. Yo, well, that's a brave. They were come. You can make ho your friends in the credit score part and say, to say the now can. The man who say your friend multiple account. If we are crying now, middle name keke, middle initial na keke crying. Sometimes it make changes because we be on my or in the bar. Sometimes we go and use middle initial, no apply for application for. The next time, no was the middle initial bar. It will pin multiple accounts or said in that in your account. Who now 3-4 accounts. Sometimes no more report to say our credit score between our cost. Sometimes now code different account. The next time now code different account. Tibu abuse the credit score into being cost free. That's saying our work history said you can the same field, I'm saying we changing now the same field now. It's still counted. Yeah, so they say I think you start here building the foundation of the home into one the credit score, one the work history Now saying it bit me at all say in your down payment and send it here. Down payment send it here.
That's
And say obi a question you between the two chat box so person okasa so obetimi akasa. Yeah.
That's million and nani for down payment is very important. So you can loans ni na asoja for loans ni there because of almost small amount. I buy ne am almost free pass. Say asoja for Navy for Air Force. One there. One more part no more discount to us into your loan ni there 100%. Still no. I buy no some more good interest rate. No mortgage insurance. They only pay funding fee. That's it. Into one more the end of strong. Neba civilians is a FHA loan, which is a buying loan, conventional loan, which is the private loans. And only there it requires down payment. However, two loans need an answer. So percent we 100% down. Say first count to us here. Who coin say first can you and to us here.
Your friends say conventional and FHA.
Yes. Person discount to us here 100% honomo. Name mono to say the mechano. You see, there's no free lunch anywhere. And I'm
I know.
It is say, and then say, you see, Obi or the kakra to us, a man is 6.5. Why won't find into us, Now, you see, and answer your interest rate, or my high kennel. Into any 0.5% near the ending. It is one more. It is a 1% to us here, but the norm on the unconventional.
Me try one look at crowd had them. You said you can say 0.5%, and I do on my who is 0.5% and make a big difference. Payment, maybe an out here 2,000, 0.5%, you go on out here 2,200. Who is 200 because sometimes what to because a BB to a B, but yana a mushy kakra. It just but 0.5% if you say a small one be and yes small sir. Yeah, brought us.
Medas Nana, thank you. And say, and yes, I say about the main down payment there. Conventional loan, which is the private loan now. First time buyer, you're allowed to break 3% down. Into for instance,
before say question be about say, what about if you work for the military or the government? I think so. We'll explain it. Maybe any panel so we'll elaborate about. So what about if you work for the military or the government? What stresses say? Oh, your friend is saying we Navy, bouncy on conform for the government military nankasa. Or as a civilian, some juma for the military no, and also some juma government. Almost more bibisana.
Yes, they have programs. Our government, Sometimes I know certain institutions they have some money. Say, ABA Okotofia, ABA 10,000, 20, and any year specifically say skies or more boy. But when it comes to the military benefit, there, the military benefit or the VA loan is streamlined specifically for the military and the spouse. So be a Navy, Air Force, Marina. Sa VA loans is either for them or their spouse. Into say obi a soldier ni na sebi manusis minimum na yere anani kunka babia so ono otias ne person tofia sa benefit no military loan na it convey to the spouse, not even the children. The man they know into ono ayeduma ma contract and yes, she still he or she the same conventional FHA is available.
Wow, the children crank home.
Wow. Woma, there are some benefits.
Like I said, there are programs maybe I for them.
Good.
But yet we need the direct.
Okay. No. That is the loan, VA loan there. It's either the VA individual or the spouse. Into let's say, oh, ABR, Nana we maybe say Nana we so jeni now so u go to fie na unu bi say oh me ba be ka ho so onya be ka ho apɛ enye vie loan bi.
You mean co-signing, right?
No, why na wo go to fie but you say to fie kɛseɛ ebia we so jeni we income on so enti oh minia be co-sign ama me.
And I make say co-sign or co-sign. That's one network.
Oh,
I don't cry disqualify.
I disqualify any VA.
Okay. Only mainly you and your spouse.
One of spouse.
Okay.
Aha, but to say who can say be a woman GI bill say student discount because school near the idea. I know say your platform, but then their children are entitled. One of the mom or you. But loan once them there. The military.
You know, your down payment. You down payment.
And down payment, they said, you can unconventional loan at 3%, and an FHA loan, which is government loan at 3.5%. And you find say if you're 400 for conventional, 3% is 12,000. Now say you can say FHA, and you're 12,000, $14,000 down payment for conventional loan, right? So that is just on the down payment on the loans, what they to us, and also the same thing, the higher you can come out with, the better it is for you. On the down payment, one thing everyone said, there's also programs for first-time buyers, right? The first-time buyers is considered anyone who has not owned a home in the past 3 years. It is a if you home and at 3 years about, you are still considered first-time buyer. Into almost one. Sometimes there are programs it gives them lower interest rate. The terms are very, very, very pleasant for first-time buyers. But also now there's a cap to income as to those benefits. It's not meant for the general population. Like typical example, there's one program, first-time buyer, they give you 10,000. But they go by the Northern Virginia, Maryland, DC, AMI, which is $123,000. That is the one that qualify you for that program. It will be making more money. They are not going to qualify. But there are also other ones. One can make even up to a tune of $180,000, and they still get the same grant for $10,000. So there are different programs for first-time buyers. There are some of them are maybe a 12,500. So we require a healthcare worker, and answer where Juma Ewo ABA fire department. They make $15,000 in those kind of grants. So those grants also are there for first-time buyers. And I have one banker, there's even a exception. So if you krempo na ton of you out of so far as you are getting rid of your existing home, this grant money, they still give it to you. It's not first time or anything. They give it to those who don't own home. So far as I said, there's a document that they will give you that grant. That is the only exception to that ban. But super majority, you have to be first time buyer, which is defined by people who have no.
Bro, there be a honor the kakra Suzuko speed. It's in say program. A honor. As also say, oh, if you can now turn because some say, when you feel be now turn at for.
Sir,
and no, it comes, and no see income base, sir, and I say, and on the
yes. So I don't know, individuals or collectively income, the same thing is the area AMI 123.
Oh, okay.
123. But then there, to say that making who and my mobile or tone if you know, or no one home, they didn't like the home, into or turn other one and they wrote the money 7.5 to the other one. Tianidia is there for anybody, so far as you don't own a home. Okay. That is just that on the down payment aspect of it. And apart from the down payments, there are also other programs who are those the money comes and go. And that program get administered through Virginia Housing. Virginia housing the end a percentage. So who is conventional for first time buyer now, almost 2% of the purchase price. Individual income, you cannot make more than 120. So my family of 2 you cannot make more than 129. My family of 3 or more Virginia housing, you cannot make more than 151. Into almost they say who use conventional, almost the any grant in a percentage 2%. And I say FHA loan government
of the price of the house.
yes, and almost the amount.
Okay.
And so who use FHA so almost 2.5%. Into
a grant. The can a grant. That means a free.
A free, won't you?
And then a free.
They may be boss in no, through other banks, but where they're making dear.
And
then near percent.
And that means let's say if you are going through that lender, now that lender, man, I say say even if I'm going through a different lender, Mr. Miyako, that institution who are that lender.
No, Virginia housing, there's a lot of banks that do Virginia housing.
Okay.
Virginia has one answer any bank, but bank be a maybe bank. No, like I said, you want to administer their loan, and you become the same thing. Different banks give Virginia housing, but the earlier ones now make kind of 10,000, 15,000 India. Most of them also are through other federal foundings. Other banks, discover banks are there. They have that repeatable and trustworthy and the citizens. And so there are so many of them out there. And so one of the Virginia housing, one more
question about Kwaba.
Sure.
Nana, thanks for joining. So open say who joining with screen, so I will say the rule is I will say you unlock your screen. So open so joining with screen, so unlock here over joining. Yo, I'm saying now now you can be about how your friend is saying how say we are one person it be a 10,000 the income base in your back say how would they know the number of people or your family members and they meet me hands like a crammer it's usually a spouse so no way and yet the whole say income base into no way be a juma and I say a cool a year mummy and a juma no it be as income near 100,000 you say more than 100,000 so me right bro.
Yes, you're right, but I'll take it further.
Okay.
We call it household income for Virginia housing or any of the program. The beautiful part is that most of the other grant, which is and only the massive base now, is beautiful. People can dodge it. Our reform, my worry krumeha. So by qualify for na income is within the qualified range. You bet me pay income. You still end the grant. The exception is Virginia housing. Virginia housing, there's a more worry for qualifier. Even spouse not only loans, they are still going to count their income. But other banks need whoever is on the loan, they don't care that spouse can make 1 million, but won't do income now income no qualify for grantor. You still make the money. But in Kualana, yes, they count in Kualana the count. Saint America say family of 2, family of 3.
Okay, that means me I was way off. Man, yes, teacher me. Welcome.
Yeah, Virginia house in Kuala. The number of household will more.
Okay,
but it has to also be in Kuala. One claim into to me and throw any numbers out there.
Yeah, Drew.
So that's say in Kuala what say stretch income into say oh yeah 4. Meanwhile, no baba kope and
maybe I ain't kind of credit. But that about quiet baby. Thanks for joining.
I never make a quick and say Ansania to us and say a boy say ye moving so house any way. Yawa ebua yawari ya yiremo. But ye found concrete emua. Ubia one in crata. And no sa to dia Moko apply na bako qualifier na near where you mabo bako apply. Cause crata munimini.
bro, but say and a honor the mammy miss a question kakra. Say kratem no need na say say if you find some file separate. Send him with me say enye bi enye be a co-sign ana
There be some worry legally we had ya. Mo file so worry. It's all my loan so see accounting.
okay.
But you say you move on my a quiet your fast so bad that no. Ya warrior your wedding bibi and so say and sign crata okromu. Nti ya worry there but America be
mo on paper na enya nye
you know sa any household income no and takemo.
ba ko pe.
Eba ko pe nti say oba na wo for the credit ya na be ma na wa kwa akotɔ no ko de.
Okay.
Na waji wo grant no.
Yo, nti you go so down payment na no say na usi ka no. Nti everyone said the conventional down payment no ne everyone said military for no there because of omojuma ye ni adem. But say no kra no still no ultimate be 2 person be 2
Oh yes. Yes, many VA clients are going to be 2 because one more funding fee 2.35, right? Say ultimately the 5% 200 mile. The funding fee dropped from 2.35 to 1.5.
Okay.
And a lot of military family who want to save money now, they say, you know what? I'd rather bring some sort of down payment and save myself $8,000, $10,000 in funding fee.
Now, what about is there a specific amount? A bit ultimately percentage ultimately to what funding fee go away completely, and to say if I say PMI,
20%, 200.
Yeah. Funding fee.
Unfortunately, VA doesn't have zero funding fee.
Yo.
At a point, they have to charge you.
Yo, and that's still on the down payment now. So 3 to 3.5
is the minimum.
Is the minimum. No, being a business and not sending you sending in your Mexico. Would you advise say be what that amount now? Because if I say me to house, not a house near by 550, you need to say damn wide. Say 300 dan unyenye bisa. Say the down payment 550 to honoma. That means this car mitri and ebedoso pa. You know, as a being a field no. Would you recommend say Ubi just 3%? If we say a good idea, say as why you radio sort of die.
Yes, so far as what down payment in there, yes, why already in terms of the down payment, I know so we're going to talk about other things. But what down payment in there fine 3% because the kind of crowd as an agent in my time and statistics is there. Everybody can Google it. If people are waiting for 20%, they are any down budget. 20%.
20%. Yes, but my point is, because sometimes the me who say me chance. I mean, say program with the audio, but my chance. I can say me mortgage your friends a calculator. And I may say because the difference sometimes I may check one time. Let me check. It's very huge. And yes, if you say payment, you know, because what's your recommendation? Say, what's your recommendation? Say me to fee. What recommendation I can say percentage? They will say for me monthly mortgage of my income.
Well, I mean, we didn't go to that, but when it comes to
this, and I say you bet me how you explain that to me because I said me actually because open can bit me discuss this way.
No, but quickly, no, we can set it in. Okay. I don't know whether Brabochi and I was so unnecessary because I've seen it several times somewhere.
Bro, open so kasana. I open so kasa. Yo, yeah. Okay, yo. MC bra, I Broco.
Yes, go ahead.
Mohammed call.
So my question is how much must one make like his annual income, okay, before one can qualify to buy a house on the minimum?
Yes,
yo, sister. So far, who buys a guest to my home? This is Barfi. Yo, welcome for coming.
Thank you for
ask a
joining us.
question.
So there's no specific income one has to qualify, get to qualify for home. Anything or share in certain and right? Every income will make it be any with your you're going to qualify based on your income that you make. There's no specific income. You need to make us say, oh, also making 100 and 200 because we are not all buying the same amount of home. Your qualification is based on your income. I don't know say be a minute what you say.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, before you show we so what's see a share. Come here and commit me a we are. You who be a meeting a share with. Yo, kakra me hu say you fancy say me tua me talk house. Say me kind you name say na saying a dime bo na for. A dime bo na for. Yes, the first na 300 350 say when you size mortgage for a year you cry only say be 500. Say me fancy me the 3% at to no ma. Let me talk down 500. It's about 15,000. 30 years. Let me the two roughly with my taxes me it which me for 20 I'm saying PMI be 4,300. That means say what I know say I know say the rule of thumb say at least about 25% what cost to 20% of your income shouldn't be and you say your income for your monthly mortgage shouldn't be that because you have other things to do. It is a but the 3%. That's it, 4,300. If it's any percent a bit me, a TSR mortgage, that means you're seeing to me, but that means we'll be eating into internal business. Is it advisable because you're in the field? Oh, yeah, is it advisable? Because that means you'll be eating into your income. And if you'll be house poor, what to feel, you come for the mostly the intended to fee, but when you pay the party, was all trust out there. That was my question.
So, okay, thank you for that. Yeah. So the down payment, so will be the 3%, 5% to us here. The difference is negligible. Unless from 5% to 10%, right? And so the 3% and 3.5% is a basic rule that out there. Okay. One, it gives you competitive interest rate. Two, it helps you also say your skin is in the game. That's right. But so with car, the more you can put, the better it is. But the 29% of the mortgage now, you can go online or statistically. As you are now talking, that rule, yes, is on the paper, but it's not existing. The average American home now, half of their salary is going to mortgage, period. Unfortunately, yes, they all kind of in a perfect world that is how it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, based upon home prices, any interest rate that thing is not existing, right? And so whether abrofu, unless the top earners are now the average American who own home, especially from 2022, now that rate is sitting in the 6, in the 7s, and the 8s now. People are spending half of their monthly income into their mortgage. Yes, and so that is where you also think about it. Say, yes, in the same way now, statistically, rent also has gone up. So we live in Northern Virginia. I just listed a townhome. I just listed a townhome. A townhome. Yes, I know. So it's interesting conversation, right? I just listed a townhome in Fredericksburg for my client about 2,900.
Fredericksburg.
2 bedrooms, 2-car garage, right?
Fredericksburg.
Yes, renting. So the question is, are people renting? Immediately. But the point is that the same home na nipa nutria 2,300, 2,900 for renting. Based upon my knowledge, my client, or then the 5% to us, not only for investment, it's a different discussion. Or no rent now. It's the payment. Even she's making $50 profit. Or no, they rent 2,900. And in this case, does it make sense? Say, Obi equal to 2,900 Amobi versus the 5% buy. Now on what to home no. Or rent it.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to discuss because it's subject for your friends a discussion.
Discussion.
Because to me, saying the rent no because if you own a home,
Yes.
Also free. It's you remember that question so. You have every Monday your friends every the third week of the month be
yes, and we can come back and talk about
it. Now every down payment so be any question be me move on to emphasis say closing cost idea about kwani probably bria you say go to fia na as a closing cost right as a ref say MC will see your closing cost like I said again being in a field in this NDC column send a closing cost criteria na then anything closing cost na anything
but that's nana no closing cost it is say yam fan say now cost to akrome and maybe abeto ade be it uti out taxes but closing cost in the get it close any say you call dealership ni akoto car once we akoto car okwa dealership no what talk car na wi no say your car mo na wo say destination fee processing fee dealership fee tag and taxes.
There you go.
Into those kind of things no fear wa wo koto car no una wutua into either say o bank na linear na obetumi finance e dey aka wo car no and also say dealership wo am no those fees need you say wutua na out of pocket sa NT say wo koto fee nso a efie nso so those kind of fees there are multiple fees like credit report fees abstract fees title search fees attorney fees utua taxes tax no utua bi ma state what you be ma federal accounting now
city
small fees and you're born to tough and I say we'll run it down we call it closing cost and the closing cost now is in percentage. Typically in state of Virginia the minimum closing cost on average is 2.5% of the purchase price. So for instance
it's 200%. Hey,
2.5%. If you ever say who to fee 400,000, 2.5% is 10,000. The max I've seen in Virginia is 3%. And 3% is who to fee 400,000. Max now let's say $12,000. So in Virginia is between 2.5% to 3%. So economy bebra na ABR who use brokers. Today we are not here to talk about different lenders, but brokers be woma fees. Woma say konkwachi konkofo. Ono no ne dey answer okwaji loan or Bank of America ono no charge you fee. Sa what dey make na say.
Yeah.
Enti eno sa na bibi sa na omo fees. They have hidden fees. Ti eno dey add to closing costs, but the standard need mainstream lending, which is what I do for 99.9 my client are, and then they 2.5% to 3%. 3% no crano in few cases. Say Obia, and on a come about Sabia, and I'm no mini I could to fee. Who be close to fee, 1st June. Miss me close to me fee, 29 June. A basa na wa who close to 1st June. Who closing cost no, I was sourcing the close to 29 for no. And then you know me say, oh, me go to.
Why is that?
And then I may ban, and then I would say, oh, me go to you meant 2 months. When 2 months because who close to you 1st, 2nd June.
Oh, can the date now or the close year no?
Good. Until who close to early in the month now. The remaining 28 days now I can withdraw no mono. Or my charge you interest in the become closing cost into what prepaid you interest upfront. Until and then will be close to 1st of the month. Or say, oh, I month I'm close to mentua mortgage. The next month mentua mortgage. Where and yes, sir, where prepaid this first month interest. And no sir, and I say, yes, sir, and I'm closing cost on echo how close to 3%.
In that situation, you know, share your friends say the closing cost, no. So no bit lesser Now I would get closer to the win so your friends. On be more now we win with less. Eric, thanks for joining, Eric. My main kakra, you knew about the question. Was it when your question? I'm say, you know, can I say point of correction, until you finish your finish paying off your mortgage, you don't own a home. Please. You yet here. And say a big and you see another big your friend said discussion. Another one. A big discussion. I'm say me know you dream home. I disagree with so home, but we can agree to disagree. Erico, you better answer. Yo, Yanko bro.
Right.
The closing cost part no.
And into closing cost in the sanity, but closing cost now. The reason why I can't answer me say in the past, say proud to recent days, obi cry from nanka or consultation closing cost no nanka me fampo mem. The reason why I say so ukutofi muna most of the time no, if you no a lot money for closing costs. But the caveat is say meme or bank we use so man a wunye scan. And nanka omo to omo fi so a trail contractor ye bisa wo omo nanka omo so atua e de aboa de obeto fie no. But because of limited inventory, you know, since and there's competition, and ways into 5 contract no be some them pay closing costs. And it has gotten out there say sellers now who say if you na kasa kwa wodi 400 that one will be man for 420. And then we pay closing costs and also metia.
Yeah.
And it's becoming narrow and narrow. Say closing cost is becoming something. Now we are in sellers market. Sellers are not paying. But if we turn to buyers market again, closing cost is going to become common. Internet now, no, when anybody calls me for consultation, then they can closing cost on once. Into closing cost, 3 people can pay. Either one fee or 2 seller. If it's individual, they can pay or they can pay a portion. If they don't pay, then 2 people are going to pay. Either another lender. But if the lender pays her, it's not free. The lender payer will do what is called lender's credit. And he said, we rate or they might 6.5. I was okay. Open $10,000. I'd be to a closing fee. And yet, may hike will rate to 7%. And exchange in the amount, so 10,000 now to a closing cost. In the past, go 4 years, oh, Alex, somebody told me, so, oh, when they were buying their home, the lender paid their closing costs. I said, well, please, it wasn't disclosed to you. No lender go around paying people closing costs. They jacked up your rate. But the grant that I talk about in India, yes, those grants, they are neutral effect on your rate. The exception, unfortunately, is Virginia Housing. Virginia Housing is supposed to be the state program, no rider, no. Woman, because of grant, you know, most of the time their interest rate is higher than the normal market rate. But most of the other lenders are used now. Their grant they give is neutral on your interest rate. It doesn't change it. So that is that on the closing cost.
Last house I toy the same thing. You can call any you know, agent catcher and say no. Say send you see corner. And I see that the environment I always say wouldn't even now could be closing say consider and paying for closing because yeah, lenders your friends and seller also specify say they even consider a crown say I'm mentioning closing because it depends on the environment. And also a money way. Your friends Erico say also say or Erico say point of correction in the same way. Buying a home, no, I say yeah, buying a home, you know, until say you finish paying, no. But I say it's good, say a better fee. That is good too. Yeah, because whatever it is, I will see a 82 baby, right? It is a bit me to uncle the other and now bit me at other I want to. Yeah, it you know, yeah. Yo, yeah, say you know your closing cost, your down payment. You try say your credit score so at the baby at that year. You take this money nasi. The other one say we talk about budget, how much you can handle. how much you can handle. No, bro, not send your no. How send your bit me? How much send your bit me handle? Send your no.
Yes. So on a budget, it is very important. There's a difference between qualification and affordability, and that is what in the past, when prior to 8, 9, some of us are new kruma happen here. The bank onim say yet utu ni mo yehoho wo nkrofo wo discard call Ghana and answer sebio we a religious person either say wo come moxa utua collection and answer we a Christian utua collection and now utua tight. They don't even know say your community ukwa yi akobonsa and now ukwa adoria uko Mexico. And bank no do say where you make $50,000 and then $50,000 needed by virtue of your 50,000, I can give you 300,000 loan. And to what the individual also you have to budget in your other expenditures to know say yes, the bank is saying say well I'm at 300 and based on this 300 my mortgage is going to be 2,500. Can I manage the 2,005? And so that is where the budget comes in. So we need to make sure say we factor other things in to make sure say yes, like you said earlier, unfortunately that 25%, 29% of our income
no, on paper.
on the paper is not existing. I mean, anybody can Google me on online. This is something they are saying on the news because the cronin some of these things I'm saying I'm me because you're going to find out and Silas I bet no
No, I believe you. I know. Say a lot of people, but at the same time, I know people almost they go by that too.
Right.
Like
So
a few.
Right. So like, and so you have to make sure say because I know what budget to how much you think say you can afford. It's just like people ask me question like, oh Alex, is it a good time to buy? Or are people buying home? And the answer is three things. One, if you're able to answer these three things correctly, I say you are ready. One, affordability. Two, a product you like. Three, a community that is suitable for you or your family members. The most top of the line is your affordability. If you can afford it, it doesn't matter the environment we find ourselves. You are ready to buy.
Yeah.
And so that is what I want to throw out there for the budgeting. Say, this is how much I want to pay. And then the budgeter, we are not also limited it. We are not just limiting to just the mortgage payment. Your HO, if there's most homes comes with 3 utilities, which is your gas, your water, and your electricity. Water, depending on your county, water is not expensive. But I know so water and so is funny. I know other counties their property taxes are low, but their water bill is extremely high. Which is like, I'm like, what is going on? And then there's other county where their property taxes is a little bit higher.
I saw one I see there's no free lunch.
But their water bill is just a peanut, right? Yeah. And so when you are budgeting, you also factor in some of these things as well, knowing that these are things that you're also going to spend in. And here and there, knowing some miscellaneous, right? Because when you own a home, some of us, we are not super agent, but to the glory of God, I barely hear client in the past calling say, oh, unless my condition, I say, where I say, because we always want to do our due diligence for the client. Because makes me a homeowner. And we make sure say any home, whether you use home, we do the home inspection, we make sure say we are scrutinizing the home so that you don't go to home broke every day. There's a problem out there. And that is what I would say on the budgeting. Say we factor in our non-mortgage, non-mortgage, essentials. You and I, we, pays from time to time.
Yeah, good. First time to fear, coffee The first your friend is saying first electricity was 500. Koye ni tifi no minimia. Na who fika kaka imi no kwa ne team na who your boy conditioner. Obi a metua 50 over part rate 50 electricity and gas. 500. How? Missing me tia. When you're about to say that's how much you spend. That's how, it's Sunday money and who here pass was a factor Sunday money. Very, 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 very important. If you said in a discussion because already a chunk of your paycheck is going to just the mortgage. It wouldn't need your friend saying wouldn't mean into the other ones now. Said your friend saying house poor. Kenya de biana as we adwuma na bibie efiri ntimi kura nsi wo bi. It is very important. You should the next year friend saying it's about your team yes and your money na. But at the same time in kitima your credit score so cost sometimes you na my your friend say your percentage of we no. It's in them say to say how said debt down payment near them say ka we kura na ko see the be ni mu kakra. Send when it comes to the credit score now, debt down payment. Because we will be so it's a channel. And then you know because at the same time the budget no crab because when you say be a case in see a few a budget in the na a crime and between debt down payment ne sa no say ni be say no.
Nana Medasi, that is very important. DTI, and that's a debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
Mene na nanya betumi ye make iska pepepe. Ye ne kwa kuto fee. Na na betumi qualify for 500. Men so betumi qualify for 300. Why? Because me hoka doso. Munyina will make it the same income. One is qualifying 500, one is qualifying 300. Obi kura betumi qualify 200. Because of a car modi. Inti a very, very important say wo plan say ubeto fia. Try say ubetua uhoka. And sana wa prepare. Until anyasa and get disappointed. Oh, make it so much money. But tobacco no up 500 years no. Yabama 350. I mean how? Until you'll be back around, I was oh Alex, well this person we made the same income, but they just bought themselves for 500,000. Why are you telling me that I'm going to qualify for only 350? Well, Nipa no nim sa odeka. Is that what you're saying? But you are just coming just on the surface and you say, oh, you assume he said, because of so amount of 500, now we made the same income, no? Well, you didn't tell them, say, you pay $1,000 car note. You didn't tell them, say, you paying, you just went and take this or that. It is very important, say, if you are planning to buy home, you try to hold down your debt, paying it down, so that you'll be able to get a lot out of your income. And not just that, I can also say a car you report to or credit. So guess what? The more income, the more debt you have, the more is going to weigh your credit scores down. And it's very important. So you are not just freeing asset that will help you buy more home that you like, but you are also raising your credit scores. It's a very important, say, as we are planning to buy a home, whether in a short term, in a long term, you pay all your debt. And so by so doing, I want to put in a question, which I always say it. So if you are planning to go buy a home, whether a month from now, 4 years from now, don't go take any junk big debt on yourself, especially car note. Unless say say, so can by the time it doesn't mean say I just want to clear myself here. Men can say the car won't qualify for loan. No, that's what I'm saying. But when you saw Baka next month, I had a family last week, talk a brand new car, $1,000. The following week, no, after Alex, I want to buy home. And we just bought a brand new car for $1,000. What did you do to yourself? it doesn't necessarily say this person is not going to qualify because they have more income. But $1,000 now, I say 50,000, 55,000, now quarter credits, no, are sinking on credit scores. So what you say? If maybe your scores was 750, by Sakano, before I realize the reporting no credit score cost 700. Into what have you done to yourself? Into it is very, 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 very important. Say, when you are preparing and you pay down your debt, and not just car, you don't open a new account, period. So if you are planning to go back in the next 6 months, 1 year, please, may be any new account. Because any account that you open in 12 months before you go apply for mortgage rate, they take it down with credit scores.
True.
If you do not open it, because one, the inquiry takes points from you. Two, like I said earlier, unfortunately, a lot of people will be making original store, original Lord and Taylor. Your man $1,000 will be $500. And you take a 2 hit. Inquiries not take a hit. You're reporting new account. You're reporting so what you $500. And it is very important, say, because of your debt to income ratio, now you don't open new account, and especially any installment loan that is going to take chunk of your income away from you. And no, very, very, very important.
Yo. Your sister, Tilly to the top, is here. Thanks for joining. Sister Kuso, thanks for joining. So, open say, over screen, so I will see you. Your friend say, your brother Erico, or say, the contribution back or side, but I say, I know when you go for approval from the mortgage banks, they check what you earn and your expenses before they tell you house you can afford. I'm saying, I don't know. Income to debt ratio. I said, I don't know. Yeah, I remember starting a career as a first as a credit education specialist. So when it comes to score credit, issues I need face debt to income ratios. How because we want to say we make it 500,000. Maybe I'll be apply for 20,000 in Sanka. Yana saa hɔ no hɔ na saa nneɛma nyinaa hyɛ because it drew point bi a ɛnyɛ the income no nko a the debt a a good pa your brother Same ebisa a question bi or say if you have a credit card and don't and if you have if you have a credit card and don't use them, will it have a major impact and as have impact on you or your credit? Now also the question be about say if yes, is it advisable to cancel or discard these cards? Kakra minimum I can't find say yes. Card now when you shoot man sit idle. Meaning I've free that game match, but not what I know. They say you let it self idle for a while now when you sue it's count as a revolving in quadia is count as part of what you owe. Internet debt to income ratio tari or hopa. Meaning said bro said that's what was say card now man now when you sue for a long time. I'm saying debt to income ratio. Don't remember, quite remember those times now. It's part of your income because it's revolving. You can use it anytime. Unlike loans and you pay a go. Revolving, you pay, you can use it, pay and use it. And it's I'm saying a part of your. But I remember say there was a big issue over your building whereby I'm saying Dr. B from New York. He makes about 1.2 million. Now Oko to be 200,000. Say yes, famano. Adanya so the cabibri or kiddy into your and say bro or credit card 500,000 credit card American Express black what that one issue sending now no more package as debt to income ratio. It's technically no only but because and also we know man sitting no say by and she said this discontinue to say the old Canadian initial especially house will discontinue card right away any issue home to probably my advice kakra who say
thank you
discontinue
for input. So that was one thing I wanted to throw in a caution. So me pacho If you don't use a credit card, any revolving card, you are doing the service to yourself. Because one, say at a point, one swap here, they stop reporting. Not just our credit score now is stagnant. And say, a lot of credit cards, no matter how, your financial freedom or credit card in Kwandia, I recommend say you recycle them from time to time, at least quarterly biano. And auto gas a wutia. Until what credit cards are, quarter gas $50. Now what you to? One buy now momo. Another day, we call restaurant, you use one of the card. Into not using your credit card is a recipe for disaster. And at a point, some lenders they are nice. Ombe say, "Who use card now?"
Yeah, cancel credit.
Cancel. They will start by reducing your limit.
The limit, no.
10,000, I'll be reducing to be a 5,000 before I realize no more cancel. And remember, 3 things affect your credit scores, positive or negative, especially when it comes to revolving account. The length of the account, payment history, and usage. So these 3 things, affect your credit, positive or negative. Into one, we later imparting negative. What you are on time imparting the positive. So credit card a new one imparting negative. As we accrue month now positive. We use less limiter imparting positive. We use more imparting negative. Into a very important say you do not cancel any credit card. From time to time, me short videos. It's one of the videos I posted recently. Please, no matter the interest rate on it, which you are now cancel, where do you want, bro? Because
especially your first credit card.
Where do you want, bro? Because credit card when you're in 4 years, 5 years, who close to you, that history is gone. And no matter how bad the people are, you may not like them, but which we are fatuo. Now making sure say next time now don't scam home because mama there's no interest rate. It's just like cash. And talking about DTI in your community, sometimes we are, God bless us. I mean, we are good people.
Bro, your time your questions be brief so bantino.
Sure.
Yeah,
good. And a quick one. Yaka DTI, Mr. and Konko signing loan for Unia. The word was we a second, wohokeke. When you know, there's nothing keke. Say a loan, wow, that number 10, and the other number 1. You are equally accountable for this loan. And please, say who signing loaner, think about it twice.
I say here because anytime be nobody could be aware of Takasa who filled into me so send your community in the city. Oh, with the first signature bishop with the Nya, with the old Kahokeke, Bonafi, time or so told the Nafi, we can I can say. Your sister, to lead to the top, or say, the patch of me could be a question so, or say, credit union, any big banks, no, which one is good? My question way.
Sure.
Mostly no credit union bad, but autofia the obama good interest rate in bank mostly yana as a woman DNA. But Nina say you're looking out for you. The Osha the end wow NA. Hey, say big bank is a Bank of America. No obama 5%. Now me credit union, obama 6%. No brainer or semi all things be equal now usually no yananka credit union me and house on you can't any ABR no yananka credit union but other question that your friend is saying your sister your friend is way to buy okay your sister okay or the brand private so questions two sister Sophia miss me or say that student loan to affect your credit score Brahma and say no. And another question, me kabu said, "Nakwa kambu mambaya." Your sister cool so or say, please, if you have, please, if you have townhome and you want to buy a bigger house, which the equity on the townhome as a down payment and use the equity as a down payment, do you how do you go about it? Can the mortgage company write off the value as down payment for you, or do you have to sell it off, move to out? Okay, that's what the whole thing is. What down payment?
Quick one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here, first one is student loan. Is it part? Yes. Does it affect your credit score?
Student loan is just it's installment loan. And it affected positive and negative. It is a student loan so a child and also a Buama credit score economy. But so when we are just like you know to mention say we later just like any other debt now. A party negative and a utuan on terms of beboa. Yes, a student loan help is count as trade line as well, positive or negative. But the good thing is that on student loans, no recently, no, first, Nanka FHA count 1%. If ABR will loan with deferment, or more count 1% of the standing debt. Now, they also just change the rule because they say if you buy it, whether FHA or conventional one, say, will loan no deferment, they count 1%, half a percentage of the outstanding loan. So let's say Obi Ewo student loans of $1,000 and 1% is what? 1% is what? Is it $10?
1% of what?
$1,000.
It's $1,000. It's $10. Oh, $1,000. But 10%. Yeah, $10. Yeah.
No, 1%. I'm talking about 1%.
Yeah, it's $10.
Yes, $10. And you first down cafe FHA and come back count to 1%, which is $10. But now across board, the law is almost count to only a half a percentage. And I'm using just $1,000 for conversation. Until the student loan, let's say, deferment, they only count $5 against you. But who student loans, let's say, be a payment no high now, who to fee name party especially government ones, they do what's called, which a lot of people know, some people they don't know. Of course, once a bank now own to say no, it's a must. No, we have programs they call it income based on your income and your expenditure. Then they will cut it back for you so that you get more money to buy the home you like into a party. Last question, there are 3 ways to get the equity. The third one, it doesn't exist. They cannot just use it on a paper to qualify you. Either you have to pull the equity, but unfortunately, if you go put HELOC, equity line of creditor, remember, say depending on your income level, then that HELOC payment also become part of your DTI. And by you going to solve one problem, you are creating another problem. Until let's say equity $100,000 and our person will $50,000. Well, depending on the equity terms, whether 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever bounce, okay, now all of a sudden go to new home, then you have extra payment of $500. And also, when income newsra, now there's DTI issue, which is $500 fighting against you. So yes, you can borrow against your equity for your new home. And
Debbie, and yes, I know, or say, so or perceive your town home.
Yes,
and
not
a bigger house.
And not a meeting.
And you are not just say, I think so, or based on contingent, say, be a me fear, I'm saying no, bisa.
Is that what says?
Because please, your intent is to sell off the old house and buy another one. But sometimes we will be say contingent to say me tone me fear now. Won't you say?
Oh,
contingent me tone fear. And no, one no person just say. And send a about it. Either in contingent, it be a send about it. Say be a house, no in contingent. Say me sell me fear we are. Because this day we are the market in this. So I don't will be a crab show. And then say another one so will be sad to say either so be tone film complete. No movie and it has to pay idea of so tone fee or so move or upgrading fee. Send obey.
Oh yeah, it's simple. We do it simultaneously, which is we fear no to market at the same time show new home, which sometimes works perfect, sometimes it's a little bit skirmish, but we pull it off. And if you're not to market, you're sure new home. But we write a contract contingent say, who told you net pull equity. Right, Eddie Abishim. And normally, yes, Anna, the end say, normally, no, Abia, and yes, what the other kind of contract, then new one's kind of contract. You be close to who fear no ABN. Or China near close to the water, near really, we see kind of their cotoba. And also, normally we do what's called rent back. Into metro, your contract now. You back at the over 27. You close to 10 June. If you run a person, equity AB at 20th June. That means a wood of anywhere, at least you get 10 days to pack out your things and make the place available for the new owner. And yes, that's how we go about it. A book so a same day closing. You better make close with 1 hour before or 2 hours. You feel on a electronic transfer. Now Oma wire sikano, yeah, they are 2 fees. And yes, that is how we go about it.
No, to me, that's what I say. Internet, you're all kind of possible. And I'm say, no, besides say, and that's also a torn complete cry. No, but in answer, I'm saying who the right agent. This is the time, especially when you're in this situation. And you're feeling, yeah, but that would be a real estate or a real agent or started 2 years. We will be a professional. No matter trust our contract. We say amount or more being your friends away. I made your friends and brothers number between information say be able to get in touch. And I said you can go on my need any say so turn complete. No, and so betting I buy sometimes a hassle. I think I'll be you nyama kuguha what on we answer no asa ku you tinu ho mo betting a perfect amount. Contingent to so beton with fee we are no my Sister Sophia, I hope say all questions the answer student loan. Say yes, negative or positive depend on the situation is here. And see our time kakra. Let me see a baby time the baby tea or time kakra. Another question here will be the question you have to Indiana or say or that's yo bro, yeah, here we kakra. I'm so I can't a question about maybe so I can want some that I say co-signing. No, because Mrs. I didn't help because you see your community there, your type and no opening of a new account be at that time. But one says here, kotofia. Sometimes the emotion and the idea any way, you when you say when you're psychologist and I will be sad, but only microphone and now who if you say who knows so it be upon inspection class, if you know, my sister and my brother. If you the out him say, yeah, my emotional emotional preparation, apart from say be prepare emotional, who feel be to say, minim say, the be a mokase, raters near the mokase, ukotofia, sometimes my emotion and take you a say, but to me, maybe kakra on.
Medasi, very important. Emotionally, no, and so you said, this house is a must. I need to get it. And why dream you now? But when people call me, I always prepare them, especially in this market. And so when you feel we are both at the mojo, I said, when you feel with the answer, want to be
a new
and I always tell people, say, please, there's going to be disappointment in this game, which means if you be a one won't pay a contract, and so and you know, I always want to prepare yourself emotionally, and unfortunately, disappointment is at the making. Your short contract, why green pass will be your own sanka. And so the emotional the drain aspect, because COVID time, this time I had the above from COVID time, ultimate contract. I have one client we wrote over 10 contract and some winning.
Oh yeah, COVID time, yeah, because could delay.
And you know, I always tell people say prepare yourself emotionally. Now I said be prepared, be strong for this task. Say, you know what? May calm yourself down. Whoever is your relative, follow their leadership. You know, don't get moved and during BBN, don't get upset. And emotional mechanism say the amount the HR to say will be sana. During even the loan process, you know, it is very, very, very draining. Yeah. Nana can bear with me. Oma Matofini can tell you. I have somebody last one time, you're drilling this. I was, you know, Alex, tell them I don't even want the home anymore. What did they want? Did they want my children's birth certificate or their passport?
Yeah.
The bank will demand, depending on your story. And so emotionally, you have to prepare yourself strongly. Say, there's no personal thing, right? And I hear people, especially those of us in the brown and black communities, you think, say, oh, they are just picking on you because of, say, ABR, the color of your skin. No. The underwriter, the loan processor, the loan officer, they are doing their jobs. There's a check box you are doing. And you catch and say, Kofa dear red, black, one day, or you may know, I need red, blue, I need blue. And Mr. Say anyone who want to go through the processor, sometimes energy soccer, it takes the energy out of you, your strength. And so you have to prepare emotionally, be stable, knowing, say, yes, you are going to give to it. Don't get emotion, don't throw words, especially even the agent. You didn't do this, no. Let's calm down and together we'll go through, and before I realize, you'll find the product that you like and it's going to be happy ending. That is what I would say on the emotions.
Yo, your sister Kus, say while elaborating in I will say, actually the house I will try so this is sister Nana, yeah, can be about mortgage, say, based on contingent, no. Or say actually no, or try to there's a new construction or try so better. Me sure see what you can say what say in the process yeah. But here the down payment from the final team no. We hear that it's name say I guess I say that means I was so torn the fee na. I'm say kakra minimum no because the down payment usually no. Say you right away now between down payment. Just say more closing. And
yes,
before closing.
Yes.
But at the same time, if the money is from there, they are if you wanna I think that they talk about it because I'm saying it still looks
so
the same.
that is where I talk about the rent back. We do what's called rent back.
Yes.
And if normally what it is, you list your home, whoever is your agent, I think that maybe
we're a new construction and a new construction.
New construction is if it's in progress, right? Or if you are going to do new construction, the same thing. We sign the thing based on Obeton of equity.
Okay.
And so depending on how long it's going to take at a point, maybe 2 months, 3 months to the finishing line, we list the home. And so knowing that in this market, home go quicker. Until if we list it and we get a buyer, even 1 month, 2 months before the home closes, we are going to tell the buyer, they say, look, my home is under construction. And so I'd like to rent the home after closing, from this day to that date. And so, yes, it's simple. The same thing. She sell the home, they put the equity sitting in the account, and then they rent from the new owner. But by law on the books, you can only rent a home for 2 months. Can you rent it more than that? Yes, but it cannot be in written document. If the buyer or time for you are on the side, the buyer and the seller agent can work something on the side. Say, hey, you know what? My client want to live here 3 months. Your people like the home. We're closing it. On the paper, we are going to do rent back for 2 months, which is allowed by the law. The reason being is that they don't want to say, primary home, when you good interest rate or the low down payment about a grant wakojibi now or the rental property. Into your buying say so your first time primary home, the max rent back you can give is 3 months, 2 months, which is 60 days. But in this case, if Mamu agrees something on the side, you can go longer than that.
On the side, yeah,
on the side.
Yeah. And so follow-up question, Jim. Yeah, I'm so follow up. Okay. Yeah, sister. Oh, a day with a single mom. Thanks for joining to you said also great family. Yeah, every Thursday, yeah, actually third week of every month, for housing, a journal for housing. to a contribution or question I'll be to me so the actual chat box me and I answer. Yo, sister or try or say okay, or say well, thanks for explaining it well. I'm saying no, I said that means if I'm buying a house under construction, I would only have to pay getting closer to the and I know kind of it didn't the same. I'm say a new house where you're waiting and they will write it the same way but usually I don't say new home no do a construction be take 6 months. It's no be on the side and I'm to from there on the side no. Yeah. Yo, and say a question me my yɛmfa question baako so hia pa time na kakra bi dey by say timi dey no to aso man yɛ pa the house type and the community or field or ground na kasa pa e dey na be kan fa saa de no the house type and the community.
It is very, very, very important and crucial that Obi Etofia, at least you have a good idea as to your need, the type of home that works for you. That is very, very important. But also the community is very crucial. In our community now, people come, they buy homes, Etofia, all they care is just about the home. But being in industry now, people, especially when you have a family, people select homes based on their family's needs, right? And so it is very important that you define a home you like and a community that is going to serve the purpose for your children, which means translation. They don't even do any research, which I don't blame a lot of people. But also, who say community make on a honomono, and your money air cost honomo, and answer your money in cost. School me mai beko anase mo fa so for because schools ben ene ho se e wo sa baby amikoto sa afie. The reason being is say sa nyoma mi no mabobosi and also drive value of home, because say schools e wo ho no mo e kama na say bonni ewudie ni ho no sa nyoma nso a ema sa importamu ho no ebo no so ye de ekosoro. Na eno ne ade a mehu se nipa bebre no wo mo de dan no ko dan na efe I like nice soup if you efe no ko a nti onim de ekoso wo bia nti eno no ye very important e wo se atiefo nso ede den etu yetrim se wo kwa akoto fie a efie no ne fale by short term, long term, how is it going to serve my need? Any community nso a to say the maker no say in terms of school ni sa anyama no so a wo behwe e de aka ho and other factors anyama no bebre ho a no credit say yen as agent na anyama no bebre ho a emra kwaso yentumi nka nkyere, but does it mean say wo be fami na enyame America for nko a say minim say ade bi ho anya minim kwan a metumi ebu wani chi a kyerɛ sɛ ade wenti hwɛ ni ye na ade we emwa ede sɛ mre bi na obi kotofie na efie ne ye nam ha na mehwɛ sɛ efie dachi no mobile homes bi gu hɔ no mo ti meduru hɔ na ye kwa amga sɛ na mekan no onye ye krom ni ti mekan rofo na me hyɛ da ka sɛ na wo ho mobile homes ne gu hɔ no mo no ɛna ɔsɛ ɛna me de me to aso ɛhɔ no na me ka sɛ ma kyerɛ no. So what I say, me tiane na so aka chen say saa dan yi a mobile home gu na chi ha no wan hwe ya enyoma boni betu na akoso ha enti enyoma bebre wo ho no mo a ye to dan a community no nyoma o say utumi, especially say wa no betumi akọ internet so aye yi a community ni ade no o say wan kasa no ye research, because no kure wo mo ne say yen agent for no ye mra man ho kwan say nyoma bi wo ho a wunim sa ha no mu eden se ye botuo we fikyiro pape, but mra ma ho kwaso obekwa akwa kire do okoto dan se wunim sa ha ye botuo ha wo yesa wo bu mra no so nti wa wo koto dan no titiri se ukofa oho bi anase nipa bi ane se nipa no so bu ha wono so on na dwuma no ye mra na no odi so wunim sa ha ko ha beto amanenim but some running man who can also catch us another hinting. One who am so one country. Into who and you can say the patient is you have to be your own what advocate. In this case, no, who could to feel sanity, you agent, but once so now who could on or so also ukomu with any da hole.
Yeah. Fellows, that make us sometimes no yes me be or you read I was started 2 years now, especially with the situation you do baby experience mobile home as okay, so any experience and sometimes no sometimes no to dine buying a home is one of the biggest expenses that you spend in your life, and also be we are share buy any fago because any fago di in fair near grow and I madam for be no her experience bro as you can know the information better job, but before then I didn't hear Henrico also by Henrico say you guys are doing good job, but I think you should find someone who can educate homeowners on energy saving. Very, very good suggestion. As a matter of fact, it's in a place when I home buying, yes, and home ankasa when it comes to home now, you say every third week of the friends, every third week and every third Monday of the month, you become home some quiet cafe. You say sikasem ho adwuma na yeye, but say home one of the biggest thing when it comes to our money. Nti nyema ebekɔ so bebree. Nti every third Monday bia no be home nia for example brotherless and me wahan ma eno de yenka bibia fa home ko ho adwuma na yebeye because your community ni hia sad kakra odi ama ya che say hia experience rater and enye rater bias rater so wasa bin ewo a friend saying when the finance near I bet wow I'm out make it good. My information as you see in your bit I get in touch. It mean to us free.
Yo, medas nana na me bacha tiefo medamase ma motumi abaso ne oma was other social media ne ma oba betie nyina enye eyemo enti ne wa hanomo me a realtor because mo na my realtor enti whether say to them want to them ho anase eyeyi ase obi a ti se radio na betena so se mo ameti a na enye presenter na se mo ameto na mo ha menye realtor nti eyemo ena ma yemi said the meti nti medamase for the honor body ama me say menemo enwumre ye meini nsawaso nti nyame hyira mo na bibia mo de mo sabeso me enye hyira nti nana me normal 703 577 0872 and me email address so my first and second part of my last name Alex Echampon .sp@gmail.com and then my email address emre obi be say emre ben yen sabeka emre am sabeka ma schedule very very flexible, which means 7 days a week me need off day me agent and then me adwuma cha me adwuma between 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. offer me na mo meeting and I say me kwa sorry offer me na me nya message na me frɛ back nti me contact no to bia na 7 days a week between 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on 703-577-0872 Google me so Google you Google my name Alex Adumakwe Champon, you'll find me there. You find my website Google Facebook the same thing Alex Kobe A. Ologia, you look for Alex Adumakwe Champon, all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, I think the last year so and I call TikTok and so if you call TikTok, Google me, full name Alex Adumakwe Champo. All the social media platforms, be honorable. Baby, I'll be sending message biano. I'll be available at your service. Consultations were may just over the phone, in person. Me was several, my company in your several offices. My main primary office is in Gainesville, but we have about over 20 offices in DMV, Maryland, Virginia. Baby out to be now, who hear me say, who pursue a face to face in Swa. Offer me, I can meet you in one of the offices and we can have face to face meeting. Either so to fee, either say opposite oton fee, opposite rent. I do renters, commercials. So last year I'm share commercials into open commercial renters, open commercial purchase. Nina so I'll be able to help you. As I see no, as an agent, I'll help you to buy the land. The good thing, person mechanics you have for land and so it's one now. People can invest in it. The good thing is that a land is not like overseas. You can be rest assured. Say, just by purpose of investment. A chile to say other places start for the Nremu or Freddy's being Nremu or Pepe. As I see for 5,000, 10,000, who was carbit me Kotobi, either cash or financing. Now the what dream ne edaho. What the bounce ne ekurakotono. Ekromia de oto would me say, Ubia financing Kawasasi. When you sukrana udija ma, you can be rest assured say, Omano 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, assassinate the home. Nina, Wupibia, Yabebo, Manuesi, Yamishra Mubium. Nana, for the opportunity.
In name city said Emekano. Till it to the top. Said you come and tell him so between about Bima and Anke. But before then, said Emekan here will be obit me a boy, will be a wabene a Jumana William, or Nim the Oye. I mean, no crowd, so very passionate or yeah, or you're very passionate about it. See him will be when it comes to data. I think I come on here and the cry as I say, you be grown ma, be a per twice as I be bisa, and I be a per invest was as Mika. You might see Castle Ghana, which is very good near the what much as still bit me. The good thing I had the Unyata Wato. Bien about him about Falco, so torn quan passo, or Chiawaka, a job pesa, and yet you come up a nebia will be a CBS so. Very good, only free, your pay assassin on my year. But so say a boy invest like a opus or torn onion for so now, torn, or between here. I mean, a few people are been in that business or more years, I don't know. Mukoto Stafford, MCC said they were can at home. Sister Tulip, why my back? And I mean, was in us, meaning at the crown up is what anyway. Every Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. a Sikasem program is Sikasem or High Life Radio. He is Sikasem Hojuma by a dedicated the third Monday SEO for Yedan Wasem House and every Thursday, every Monday, third Monday of the month, be an share or Hanaya down. Other than that, the Akanoso, I become down Wasem Day, but the focus or down Wasem third Monday or her. The brother Eric. Namisha was suggesting to buy a better because you see any boy in there. Energy saving is any money now. Okay, till to the top. SOS. Friends are Kuz. My guest Sophia Mohammed. Sami. Wina. And no moment me amo mudina. Welcome. And thank you for and give generously. Ibisha next Monday.